drive. I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Hey, it's Jiminita Swain, and welcome to What's Trending, the spot where the buzz meets the bold, and we're diving into the topics that are shaking things up. It's Wednesday, August 13th. Let's get into it. The impact of a strong beginning. In today's show, we explore the importance of thoughtfully organized classrooms and maintaining open communication with parents. According to one teacher, these are the essential ingredients for a successful school year. We sit down with her to discuss how she's laying the foundation for effective learning and collaboration starting from the very first bell. Then it's a new school year, and while some students are excited, others are quietly struggling. We're talking to a guidance counselor about how anxiety shows up during big transitions and what parents, teachers, and students can do to ease depression. Start the year with confidence. These and more right after the break. You're watching What's Trending.
At the signing of the $18 million contract ensuring the expansion of the airport at Black Point Exuma, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, spoke to the numerous advances that the initiative will contribute to the local community, as well as to tourism.
This contract signing today is another milestone in the Family Island Renaissance project. We are building airports that meets the demands of a growing population, a thriving tourism market, and an increasingly connected Bahamas. And you overheard, we have expansion plans today from 2,600 feet to more than 5,000 feet. This new runway will be capable of handling a wider range of commercial and private aircrafts, including Bahamas Air's ATR 72, that's the 70-seater, and regional jets such as the CRJ 700 and the Embraer 170. And on the private side, we'll be able to accommodate jets like the Gulfstream G500, allowing for more high-value travelers, those who own homes in Black Point, Staniel Key, and the surrounding areas, who stay longer, who spend more, and who contribute meaningfully to the local economy. We're expanding the aprons, of course. This is going to be ICAO compliant, as you've heard, with all of the modern amenities. Importantly, though, this will be a port of entry. This port of entry designation means that you will be able to accommodate direct flights from the USA and other countries and clear customs and immigration in Black Point. This enhanced accessibility, connectivity, and more seamless travel will single-handedly create a level of transformation not seen before in Black Point.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Whether you're a student or a teacher, the countdown to back to school is officially on. For many teachers, this time of year means going the extra mile to prepare their classrooms. Now today, we're talking with Latia Storr, a veteran science teacher at C.H. Reeves Junior High School. With over 20 years in education, she knows just how important those early preparations are for setting the tune of the year. Welcome to What's Trending, Latia.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so great to have you here with us. So now you've been in the classroom for more than 2 decades. How do you make sure your classroom feels welcoming and inviting to students, especially at the start of a school year?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm very intentional about how I want my classroom to look and what I want the children to hear, what I want the classroom to speak to them. So I start very early to try to translate that message to them from when they first enter that door and they look around and they I want to hear the wows, like, oh my gosh. I want them to see that I put effort into decorating this classroom just for them.
That's important. So how much time typically goes into preparing your classroom? We're just a few weeks out from school officially opening. Is this crunch time for you?
To some extent it is. I've started, I think, in May, and it started with a theme. My theme this year revolves around robots because everyone is about technology, artificial intelligence, where that's going to lead us. So I want robots to be my theme. So I very specific about my color, my subject, content charts I want to use, and the lettering. So it takes quite a few months to get all of that locked down, and I'm still not finished yet.
Wow. So tell me, do you change your classroom theme or the setup throughout the year, or is everything set from the beginning of the semester?
Every year it changes. Mind you, you can't use the same theme or the same aspects of the theme. For example, you can use minions, but just use them in a different way. So every year it changes for me. I try not to recycle the same theme maybe once every 5 years.
And so we're going to switch gears a little bit. So we know that family engagement can make a big difference in a student's success. So what are some of the ways you try to connect with parents early on?
Oh, I think you can't do it without parents. Because the reason the child is there is because the parents had to have them, first of all. I remember as a student, when I was younger, the old adage was true. It takes a village. There is no way we can have progressive, effective education without involving the parents. So it's very important, first of all, to make contact, let them know who I am, and establish an effective form of communication.
That's important. So when it comes to the communication with parents, especially with concerns or challenges when they arise, how do you approach those conversations?
Well, honestly, it's like talking to you. If you have that established communication line, it's easy. At our school, we have Facebook. Some teachers have WhatsApp groups, so they're always communicating to their parents. And I don't mean communicating to parents to let them know their child is being bad. Just to celebrate little milestones. Did you know your child got an A or a B? Or they passed this exam today when previous units they may not have did very well. So it's making that established communication and having a regular form of communication with parents.
And in your experience, what would you say builds real trust between teachers and parents, particularly in communities where there may be some gaps in, say, communication or educational background?
I think what's important is letting people know they feel valued and let them know that they feel seen and represented. So once you have that child's parents know, as well as the child, that you are there for them. You know, the reason I'm here in this seat is because I want to do the very best I can to make sure your child shines. They are through the moon and very appreciative, and it's easy.
Well, what would you say to parents who want to be involved but are unsure or who may feel intimidated by the school system?
You know, you have to remember your why. Because if your why is for the betterment of your child, then there's no need to feel intimidated. There may be some reservations because there are some persons who are introverts, some persons who may be a little antisocial, but you have to remember the why, the betterment of your child. If you remember your why, the rest will be, it may be a little hiccup at times, but it'll be important and you'll stick through it.
And so what then is one mindset or habit you hope the students and their families carry with them throughout the school year?
The biggest mindset I want them to know is that failure is not an end, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to learn. Because if you attempt any assignment, any activity, or any task, and you don't succeed, that's an opportunity to learn. So I really want parents and students to remember that this particular year. Because when it comes to artificial intelligence, going back to the theme of the robots, so many failures and missed opportunities happen before you get to that aha moment, that success. So it's important to stick to it, exercise grit and perseverance, and you'll get it.
That sounds great. What's your biggest hope for this upcoming school year in terms of growth, connection, or even impact?
Well, you know, we're about numbers in education. So I always say I want my students to do 5% better in all aspects. 5% better academically in terms of assignment tests, 5% better in terms of mood, 5% better. I want to reach up to 5% more parents. So that 5%, that's my personal goal, that I want to do better in all aspects.
Well, definitely a big thank you to you, Latia, for joining us today on What's Trending. You offered some powerful insights, and hopefully parents take away the messages you share, and students know that they have a great classroom to look forward to when school opens. So when What's Trending continues, we'll hear from a guidance counselor who is sharing practical tips to help ease students' anxiety as they prepare to head into a new academic year. Stay with us.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Diet-friendly special.
The start of a new school year can bring excitement, but for many students, it can also stir up feelings of worry or anxiety, especially when transitioning to a new grade, a new school, or even just a new routine. From making new friends to facing higher expectations, the emotional load can be heavy, and often it goes unnoticed. Today, we're talking with Joshua Cartwright, a school guidance counselor, about how students and their families can navigate these feelings and start the school year with confidence. Welcome to What's Trending, Joshua.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here with us. Now, we hear a lot about back-to-school anxiety. That's something that people are talking about. What are some of the most common concerns that we see that students face, especially when moving into a new grade or a new school?
I think some of the more common things would be that idea of where I was in one grade. I got used to the teachers, I got used to the workload, I got used to the expectations. But now, as I move up, all of that changes. I'm not really sure what is expected of me until I get back in the classroom on that first day, that first week. And then for those who transition from primary school to junior high school to high school, and then some even from high school to college, it's a completely different environment. The people that I'm going to meet will be different. There'll be new teachers that I have to get used to. There'll be a whole different atmosphere. And so on the outside, we may look good in our new uniform or our new hairstyles and our new haircuts, but on the inside, it's almost like a terror. We feel like this because what we are seeing now is something that we do not know. And as people, naturally, we fear the unknown.
That's true.
And so when we look at these transitions, we have to understand that a support system is going to be needed, and then we have to ensure that the environment that they are going in can be productive for them so that they can excel.
So then what are some of the early warning signs that persons can look out for a child that may be feeling overwhelmed or anxious?
I think the most obvious would be silence. A lot of students, when they are feeling something on the inside, they tend to internalize it. And so rather than you seeing a smile or a friendly gesture from them, you see them just sitting there. They look like they're daydreaming. They look like they are not engaged with their surroundings. They may just be sitting there and you may be asking them, oh, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. How was your day? It was okay. When really and truly they may not know how to speak about it, or they may not know what it is that they want to say, but they want to say something. And so I would encourage parents in particular to give them the space that they need, and I'll always encourage them to know that, okay, if you want to say something, I'm listening. And as they then open up and speak, you cannot judge them.
Because this was going to get into my next question, where how can parents or caregivers ease the anxiety for these students, for their children, in the days and weeks leading up to school's reopening?
Encouragement would be one of the biggest things. Reminding them that you are capable, you are able, you can get it done, and then giving them the space that they need to experience. Also encouraging them not to have too much expectations, because expectations can thwart our reality of what is going on around us. And so you can let them know, okay, on your first day, try to have an open mind. Try not to think about or compare what is it that I want to experience or what is it that I may be expecting, and just see how the day goes. But as the day goes on, help them to realize that I can do it. And that can look like in the mornings during the car ride, whisper to them or set a small, quiet environment where they know that, okay, today is going to be a good day. Help them to reassure themselves by teaching them small comments, I got this.
So for those students making the shift, say, from junior or to high school, that social shift could be just as impactful as an academic one. So then how can they prepare them for that emotional change that you mentioned? Because it seems like so much changes or so much change is happening in this midst.
I would suggest that you encourage them to feel what they are feeling. And in feeling it, to be honest with themselves. Because as a child, you may be feeling something, but then you may be trying to convince yourself that I'm not feeling it, or it's not real. And so if you know that it's safe to feel what I'm feeling, by telling them it's safe to be anxious.
So don't hide your emotions.
No, don't hide it. It's okay to feel nervous. It's okay not to be as confident as you can be. But once you recognize that, then what do? Let's talk about it. And in talking about it, I want to hear what you have to say about it. What do you think you should do? How do you think you should go about feeling this? And then as they do that, then you go on to let them know, okay, now it's time for you to reassure yourself. I may feel anxiety. That's okay. I understand it's okay now, but what do I do when I feel it?
So then this is where you come in.
Yes.
How do guidance counselors like yourself assist students in this transition period? Are there specific programs or tools that you share with them to get them through it?
In the school that I'm employed at for our 7th to 9th grades, we have a class with them weekly. It's called Classroom Guidance, or in some cases, Life Skills. And in the first 2 to 3 weeks of the semester, we let them know, okay, this is my role as a counselor. This is what I am here to provide for you. And then that is your opportunity as well to help them to realize that this is a safe space. This is an environment that you can feel safe to open up. And whenever you want to talk, we are here. We let them know, okay, as the year goes on, we begin to teach them how to deal with time management, how to deal with emotional coping, how to deal with stress, and then how to organize themselves so that no matter what happens, they can be successful.
And so with social media being such a big part of students' lives, how does that affect the back-to-school anxiety, and what can parents do to manage that influence?
I would suggest the excitement that comes with back to school, let's try to think about what's happening on the inside as well.
Okay.
And so we all know about first day of school pictures.
Of course.
Well, we spend half of
every timeline is flooded.
Everyone. But then if you look through those pictures, there's not much, have a great school year.
Not much encouraging.
Right. We see them saying, okay, smile for the camera. But in smiling for the camera, how are you feeling for real? And so once the camera is gone, then you can give them a little nudge on the shoulder. You're gonna have a good day.
Yeah, just make them connect.
Right. And so with that connection, and then also parents have to pay attention. A lot of times, a lot of things that is happening in social media, especially for young people, parents are not really paying attention until they are forced to do so. What is it that your children have access to online? What is it that they are seeing on their timelines? How are they responding to it? And then let's talk about it Let's see how you understand it, and then what you should filter out from it so that it doesn't affect you.
Now, what role does sleep, nutrition, and physical activity play in maintaining school stress? And give us one simple thing that students can do each day to manage that stress and stay grounded.
Now, with sleep, everyone usually says that 8 hours is healthy.
Right.
But the reality is not much young people want to go to sleep at 8 o'clock or 7.
No, they do not.
Because they feel they're going to miss out on something.
Yes.
And so I usually encourage students to figure out a schedule that works for you.
Okay.
If you realize, okay, I can go to sleep at 10 o'clock and I don't feel too bad in the morning when I wake up, then try to stick in that area.
Because routine is important.
Right, if you realize that you're still feeling a bit sleepy, then try 9:30. But you have to accept the fact that you're going to miss out on some things because your rest is important.
You need to get to bed.
Right. And then even when getting to bed, there's one thing about going to sleep and getting a night's rest. So you can sleep, but if your mind is still actively going, then you're not really getting much rest. So what I would say is to practice mindfulness, or practice some grounding technique where something as simple as sitting on your bed, back straight, you're planting yourself, breathing in and out, is helping you to release and to calm all of what is going on the inside. And in a simple, I've had a long day, I can process these things, now I can quiet my mind down so that once I go to sleep, I can get a full night's rest.
So then what advice do you have for students who are dealing with bullying or exclusion, especially in the early school year when friendships are still kind of being formed?
I would always recommend them to talk to a trusted adult. In this case, either their homeroom teachers, a teacher that they trust, or most importantly, the guidance counselors.
Yes, you take up a lot.
You let us know what's going on, and we will help you through it. And it's easier to have that conversation from the initial stages than to wait until everything is going wrong, and then you are forced to say something. And so if you could have that conversation with an adult, and it does not have to be a very in-depth conversation. Hey, Mr. Cartwright, I've been having a long day. This person, I realize they're starting to pick on me. I'm feeling a bit off. Every time I'm around them, okay. So now let's figure out what it is that we need to do so that you can be comfortable. Let's figure out what we need to do so that you are not targeted, but we can address the situation.
It's definitely some good advice. Thank you so much, Joshua, for joining us today and providing not only compassion but practical tips that both parents can use and definitely students returning to the classrooms can apply as well. So thank you so much for that. So whether it's the first day of kindergarten or the first year of high school, transitions aren't always easy, but with the right support, students can move through their anxiety and into growth. Well, as we head into a new school year, let's remember a little encouragement, a listening ear, and a steady routine can make all the difference. Stay with us. What's Trending continues after the break.
Welcome to the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025, the gateway to abundant opportunity, the platform for more, access to a continent with more makers and creators, more technology and manufacturing capabilities, more innovators and collaborators, more information and knowledge, a continent of opportunities for business in more markets and resources that accelerate progress and create space for more infrastructure, connectivity and networking, more creativity, production, and more deals for the people. Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, brings you the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, hosted by the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees, 140 plus countries, $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities. Register now and enter the gateway to new opportunities.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking lot? You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, he ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside that say this mother. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
The perfect lunchbox isn't just about tossing in a sandwich and hoping for the best. A balanced lunch fuels your child's brain and body, and yes, it can be fun too. So what exactly makes a good lunch for students? Here's a quick bite-sized guide to building better lunchboxes. When lunchtime rolls around, students need more than just a quick bite. They need fuel that keeps their brains sharp, energy steady, and bellies satisfied. So what makes the ultimate school lunch? Let's unpack it. First up, balance is key. Start with protein. It keeps kids full and focused. Think grilled chicken, hard-boiled eggs, tuna salad, or even hummus. Add in some whole grains like whole wheat bread, wraps, brown rice, or crackers. These give slow-release energy, so no midday crashes. Then, bring on the color with fruits and veggies. Carrot sticks, apple slices, grapes, or cucumber rounds. Fun shapes and bright colors can make healthy foods way more appealing. And don't forget healthy fats. A little cheese, a few nuts or seeds, or avocado slices help to keep tummies satisfied and brains sharp. Now, let's talk drinks. Water is the MVP. Low-fat milk is great for calcium, and if you're packing juice, make sure it's 100% fruit and keep it kid-sized. Now, what can we skip? Sugary drinks like soda? Pass. Sticky candies or chocolate bars? Maybe so if those for a weekend treat. And anything that needs refrigeration, like mayo-heavy sandwiches, might not be safe unless packed with an ice pack. Want to make lunch a little more fun? Try writing a silly note or joke on a napkin. Use cookie cutters to make sandwiches into stars or animals, or go with a theme. Taco Tuesday, Rainbow Lunch, or Breakfast for Lunch Fridays. Don't forget to involve the kids. Let them pick out fruits or help make a sandwich the night before. When they help pack it, they're way more likely to eat it.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Diet-friendly special.
And on Thursday's show, we're diving into the latest trends shaping the economy today. Stay tuned for insights and expert analysis in our economic segment. Well, that's the end of another trending day. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. That's at What's Trending on ZNS for all the latest buzz, behind the scene moments, and what's hot on the timeline. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. See you later.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Senate begins debate on Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025. Plus, a family demands answers after an alleged police-involved stabbing leaves a 25-year-old injured. And the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini addresses dredging concerns.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the government of the Bahamas is advising the public that messages circulating on WhatsApp, social media, and certain websites claiming that cabinet ministers and senior officials are named in a U.S. indictment are completely false. In a statement released today, officials stress that these claims are fabricated and have no basis in fact. Citizens are urged not to share such messages, but instead to verify information with trusted unofficial sources. The government notes that during periods of heightened political activity, false stories and misinformation tend to spread more rapidly. To address this, a rapid response unit has been established to quickly verify facts and correct misinformation. The safest way to ensure accuracy, officials say, is to rely on official government statements and reputable news organizations. In other news, the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025 is one step closer to becoming law as senators took up the bill that officials say is an opportunity to complete what was started by the former administration and further modernize the voting process. Our Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Debate on the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025 began in the Senate Wednesday morning, led by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, who stressed the legislation will not change the voting process, but provides the legal framework to introduce a biometric parliamentary election register and biometric voters registration card. He adds the country has been criticized by the Organization of American States and other election monitors that have criticized the use of paper voters' cards.
While they do commend the Bahamas for its ability to peacefully conduct elections and the credible outcomes of our elections, they have also expressed serious concern, Mr. Chair, about the way we manage our electoral process. They have noted time and time again, report after report, that our current system remains manual, outdated, and prone to error.
Importantly, Pinder says the parliamentary commissioner supports the intended modernization.
It is the considered view of the parliamentary commissioner that the biometric card will greatly assist the parliamentary registration department in eliminating duplicate registration, errors in the register, and identity of fraud at the point of registration.
Senator the Honorable Michaela Barnett Ellis says the bill moves what the Minnis administration started forward, but lacks certain protections, suggesting the public has reason to be suspicious over the timing of the bill, urging delaying the legislation until the new Data Protection Act is enacted.
Modernizing elections is not just a technical exercise. It's about confidence. If voters believe that the system is vulnerable to abuse, whether through hacking, political interference, or misuse of data, they will lose faith in the integrity of the vote, and that is dangerous to democracy.
Senator the Honorable Kirkland Russell says the legislation is intended to safeguard trust and electoral integrity.
This is indeed a moment to renew public trust, to show that democracy in the Bahamas is not static. No, it's alive, evolving, and responsive to the needs of the Bahamian people.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Just one station.
A 25-year-old man is recovering in hospital after an alleged stabbing involving police officers at a local club. The incident has left the young man's family deeply concerned, and tonight his mother is speaking out, questioning the actions of law enforcement officers.
The officers that did that to my child need to be held accountable. Because if they had a servant to protect, they wasn't serving to protect that night.
A night out with friends quickly turned devastating for 25-year-old Franklin Alcenor as a result of an alleged stabbing incident. His mother, expressing deep concern, alleges that he was stabbed by police officers on Saturday, August 9th at a local establishment, but was never placed in the daily police briefings. Jean is questioning how the situation escalated to such a violent level, leaving her son hospitalized.
Him and a couple friends went out. So the two friends, they reached there first. And one of the friends, the security wouldn't let them in the gate. So they had a big blowout. At the time, my son wasn't there yet. He just did pull up.
According to Jane's mother, her son Franklin witnessed one of his friends allegedly being beaten by police. When he stepped in to help, the situation quickly escalated, leading to the alleged stabbing.
He went to help, and the next guy who was with him said that he must see had a cup in the hand. He must see throw the cup at one of the officers.
Franklin's mother also alleges that when his friend found him, a police officer was on top of him, beating and stabbing him. But the ordeal didn't end there. As a result of his injuries, Franklin was rushed to the hospital. Shortly after, she says she received a call from a friend tipping her off about what had happened.
He came to my window and said that Franklin was arrested. I was sleeping. And I wake up, I say, arrested? He said, yeah. Then after that, then the hospital called me and said, is this Franklin, Mom? I said, yes. Say, Franklin is in the hospital.
Jean says she is currently grieving the loss of one of her sons and notes that this experience has deeply scarred her. She questions why her son was treated in such a violent manner.
If the young man didn't run there and stop him, he could have killed my child. And then I would have been burying another child because I already lost a child already.
Franklin remains in the hospital recovering from surgery. Our ZNS News reached out to the Raw Bahamas Police Force for a comment on the matter and was told it remains under active police investigations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
After a year-long effort to improve street safety across the island, Bahamas Power and Light has confirmed the completion of an extensive streetlight installation program in Abaco. The initiative, which began in 2024, aims to enhance visibility and public safety by installing new streetlights in key communities throughout the island. This, according to Chief Operating Officer Anthony Christie.
Extensive street lighting program the last year, so we have gotten funding. We have many street lights for Family Islands, New Providence that have been dispatched, and more than enough to cover the site. So there was exercises to date that were a completed installation in many places.
PPL officials also noted that when streetlight outages occur, crews work to resolve the problem as quickly as possible.
We get calls often that we need a street light replaced here, that there's an outage, and we immediately address that. But street lighting, that is being addressed actively. I just came from a warehouse today where we had enough streetlights to cover many areas, and they're going to be dispatched as needed. But if there's a concern or we have an issue, that streetlight will be replaced for sure.
The Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, has issued a statement addressing concerns over ongoing dredging on the Northern Island. Concerns, he says, were brought to his attention by a number of residents. In the statement, Smith assured constituents that he takes the matter seriously and has been actively investigating. Upon receiving the complaints, he contacted the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources and was advised that the developer has obtained all necessary permits from the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection for what is described as a beach enhancement program. These permits remain valid through the project's completion. Smith added that a Bahamian environmental compliance manager is on site to ensure all regulations are followed. Now, on the issue of public access, the MP said he spoke directly with the developer, making it unequivocally clear there must be no restrictions at any time for any reason, calling it a non-negotiable matter. He pledged to monitor the situation closely and hold the developer accountable to that commitment. Smith concluded by thanking residents for their vigilance, adding that his priority will always be the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and vowing to stand up and speak out whenever issues arise that could negatively impact them.
And still to come.
West End's annual Fish Fry Festival brings fun and flavor to kids before the start of back-to-school season. We'll have that story plus sports highlights when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
The 2025 NACAC Track and Field Championships are coming to Freeport August 15 through 17. Athletes from across the region will compete at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex in 3 days of non-stop action. Follow NACAC Athletic Championship on Facebook and Instagram. Tickets are available at nacac2025.bahamasloc.com. Take your business to another level with Flamingo Bahamas Discount Saving Network. Get free TV and radio ads, local and international exposure. For more information, log on to www.flamingobahamas.com.
It's back to school and back to savings at Bellevue Business Depot. 20% store-wide sale until September 13th on cash and credit card purchases. Spend $50 or more to enter to win a laptop. Drawing and sale ends September 13th.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. For the second year, the West End Down Home Fish Fry Festival treated a number of children down in West End to some good eats and wholesome fun as they get ready to head back to the classroom. Their second annual back-to-school giveaway took place on the grounds of West End Primary School, where some of the top students were granted gift certificates, and each child was presented with a backpack filled with supplies. CEO Richard Johnson shares why the back-to-school giveaway holds a special place in his heart.
Today we actually have food galore. They have some of the good treats, candy cone, and we have hot dogs or burgers. We have also food for the adults. We also have entertainment by Lil Joe Cartwright band. We also was able to ensure that some of the honor roll students will get a kid certificate at the Clark store. We would ensure that the less fortunate kids will also have uniforms for school. And so the full works, books, pencil, rulers, crayons, sharpeners, you name it, we have it.
The West End native thanked all sponsors and stakeholders that helped in making the giveaway a success. He also vows to ensure that the community is assisted in any way he can.
This is my stomping grounds. I started here, my early education, and so it's his home for me. I would like to always be an example, and for those who are out there, don't forget where you come from, where you start from. Be an inspiration, support, give back. We want to also thank our sponsors who have been able to assist us in a great way. The patrons of the event, the donors, the Member of Parliament, the Restaurant Man Bimini, corporate sponsors, persons who don't want to be called, but obviously they give back. And so we will continue to find out, what the school needs, how can we be a system, whether it's an air condition, whether it's help with transportation, whatever. We will be there. We will be the big brother.
Well, tonight in part 3 of our Grand Bahama is Now Fully Fiberized series, we focus on service delivery from a technical perspective, what this new fiber reality really means for users, faster speeds, more reliable connections, and big value. Is done. The fiber is in place. Now it's go time for BTC's service delivery team, the boots on the ground force behind the major upgrade. Their mission, get customers connected fast, and once a resident says yes, installation happens in 2 days or less.
We check in the morning, get our work done, plan your day, and you can go from there. So, you get all your equipment you're gonna need, get in contact with the customer, make sure that they're available for your install, and get them up and running.
Even with smooth planning, issues sometimes come up. When they do, it all starts with a thorough inspection of the fiber lines, checking for any breaks or bends that might cause problems.
Then I go into the house or the business and I check the ONT, where we plug the fiber into. And if I notice that there isn't any signal coming to it, I check the pole. If the pole is damaged or the port that we're feeding from is damaged, I call the network team and they come out in a responsible response time. And then if that's not the problem, or if it's just an internal or a computer-related problem, I call flow support or dispatch to help me bring up the services.
And follow-ups are just as crucial. Many customers are new to the new technology, and BTC's teams don't just install. They take the time to guide and support, ensuring everyone feels confident with their new service.
Sometimes you install a Flow TV, and the customer has a Fire Stick. So you have to still show them how to switch between the two. So you want to do, but majority of the time, most of the customers, once we call them, they have our number. So if they have any questions, in turn they call us, they will call and say, Mr. Sanders, I don't understand this. So sometimes, either we have to go and explain it to them, or we can just do it over the phone.
For Kyle, a splice and connect technician, seeing firsthand how fiber transforms the way people work, learn, and live is the best part of the job.
Seeing the customers' faces once they receive their services always brings a joy to me.
And the work doesn't stop here. As more homes come online, the real test is how fiber is changing daily life for its users. So what do customers really think? Stay tuned. In the next segment, we take you inside their journey, hearing from residents across Grand Bahama on how fiber is making a difference in their lives. To look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
It's a busy weekend for track and field. Knockout championships Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so Team Bombs is here. In fact, a few of them on the plane right now, headed this way. I saw Turks and Caicos. I saw some athletes from different countries. And so it's going to be a busy weekend in track and field. Hope to see you out there.
Definitely.
Hope to see you out there.
And it definitely sounds exciting. Jay, Val, sports is up next after this commercial break.
want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Strength isn't claimed, it's built. At Heroic Concrete, every block is made with purpose, crafted to protect, poured to endure. From ready-mix to premium 8-inch blocks, we supply the strength our nation needs. Proudly made in Grand Bahama, built for hurricanes, built for legacy. Creating products to bring value to our lives and strength to our future. Call 820-4376 or email sales@heroicgrouplimited.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
It's back to school and back to savings at Bellevue Business Depot. 20% store-wide sale until September 13th on cash and credit card purchases. Spend $50 or more to enter to win a laptop. Drawing and sale ends September 13th.
Clearview Glass and Windows Repairs, Freeport trusted name since 2006. And this August, get 10% off all Windows screen. Give them a call today at 352-7694 or 826-7509. The choice is clear with Clearview.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Top in Sports. The NACAC Senior Area Track and Field Championships is set to begin Friday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. The majority of the athletes from Team Bahamas are in town ready for competition. Terrence Jones Jr. and Wanya McCoy is scheduled to compete in the men's 100 and 4x1 relay, while 3-time Olympian veteran sprinter Anthony Strong will run the women's 200 meters.
My first time competing here since 2019, so it's like the expectation is just to go out there, have some fun, get the people to show, you know. But so far, it's been as good as it could be for right now, you know. You have limitations with the body, so just working through that, trying to get back healthy. But other than that, training's been going good, trying to get sharp.
I'm planning to compete in the 200 meters here. And I actually feel way better physically. I've been doing some treatment in Nassau, and it's been going pretty well. And also, due to how I competed at trials, it also let me know that I'm in way better shape and position than what I thought I was in. Even though the pain was a little bit iffy for me, my body clearly is responding well to the races. Right now, I am in the quota for the World Championship, so technically I am a part of the team quota-wise, but I am trying to get the standard on time just because I don't want to go into World Champs if it ain't button on what times that I could achieve. I want to actually be able to put it down in a race and say, well, at least I know this is the minimum of what I could do. I don't want to go there and just surprise myself to say, well, I thought I would have done better, but I actually didn't.
I compete in the 100 and the 4x1. Individually, I feel as though I could run what I need to qualify to go to Worlds, which is 10 flat, but I want to run 9, to be honest. And 4x1, we want to run as fast as possible to qualify the 4x1 and have a team there for the first time since, I think, 2017. So, yeah, and we're also trying to break the national record and win. Because, you know, we for our home crowd, so you know we got to put on a show. I started training 2 months ago, June 1st, because I've been out with an injury all year, so it was tough coming back, but like before trials, I started feeling like my normal self again. So hopefully this meet shows that I can do what I needed to do. I ran quite fast at trials, but I can run way faster.
The athletes were asked if there was any added pressure competing in front of the home crowd.
I ain't gonna lie, a little bit, yeah. And plus, my old man live here too, so it's be the first time maybe get to see me run a home soil, so yeah.
Slight pressure, but you know, without pressure, the competition won't be as sweet. So it's just more or less just handling that. But I would say the pressure is not really as good as the excitement.
Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Located in Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock, Faith Christian Academy is now open for registration for the new school year 2025-2026. Come grow with us in a great environment for learning. Register today, do not delay. Call the number 439-0130 or 348-2592.
The 2025 NACAC Track and Field Championships are coming to Freeport August 15 through 17. Athletes from across the region will compete at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex in 3 days of non-stop action. Follow NACAC Athletic Championship on Facebook and Instagram.
Tickets are available at nacac2025.bahamasloc.com.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. PTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Join us for City in Motion, your inside look at the people, progress, and possibilities shaping the city of Freeport. Each week, we bring you the stories behind the movement. Highlighting how the Grand Bahama Port Authority is leading with purpose.
Our desire is to connect Bahamians with the opportunities that's right in front of them.
This is City in Motion.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
The
Hidden Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national report, Tropical Storm Erin expected to graze our islands, but meteorologists say the 45 miles per hour storm poses no direct threat. We've got the latest coordinates, plus the parliamentary elections amendment bill passed in the upper chamber today. Hear what it means for the electorate. And just how crucial is paternity leave for fathers of newborns? We hear from mothers. The Bahamas tonight, the national report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. In a matter of hours, Tropical Storm Erin is expected to intensify and is predicted to move towards warmer waters, allowing it to strengthen into a Category 3 hurricane late into the weekend. The slow-moving storm has already killed about 7 people due to intense flooding caused by severe thunderstorms in the Cabo Verde Islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in the Weather Center with the latest on Erin and its potential impact in the Atlantic. Good evening, Basil. Where is Tropical Storm Erin right now?
Good evening, LaDawn. Well, first of all, let me tell you, Erin has intensified over the last 6 hours. It's now packing winds of some 50 miles per hour. And as of 5 o'clock this afternoon, Erin was located some 1,200 miles to the east of the Northern Leeward Islands, which is just about here. It is moving towards the west at about 17 miles per hour. So we have seen a reduction in the forward speed, and that is necessary for it to make that turn towards the north. So we'll continue to monitor this system right through Friday, and by Friday, we'll be in a better position to say whether or not we will get any kind of impact from this. But based on all of the computer models, or the majority of the computer models, they're all suggesting that that turn will take place well before it reaches the Bahamas, which is certainly good news. But if you look at this cone, we still remain right on the outer edge of that southern flank of the cone, and that is the Turks and Caicos Islands right about there. So we'll watch this very, very closely and keep you posted of its progress.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, received a detailed update on the country's preparation for Tropical Storm Erin from the Disaster Risk Management Authority and its stakeholders at the Office of the Prime Minister this morning. According to Managing Director Aaron Sargent, the Prime Minister was briefed about the possibilities of the storm's impact on the country over the next few days.
While the storm is in its early stages, we are anticipating to get further details from the Department of Meteorology over the next few days as to the potential impacts, if any, to the Bahamas. Additionally, we would have briefed Prime Minister on the shelter availability, shelter capacities throughout the country, noting where there may be challenges that exist, noting the plans of the authority in its response in terms of evacuations and whether evacuation orders would be needed. Additionally, we provided the Prime Minister with updates as it relates to our national disaster readiness exercises that started in June, which then segued into the regional disaster readiness exercises that culminated last week in Abaco.
The Bahamas Power and Light remaining vigilant amidst reports that Tropical Storm Erin is headed for the Caribbean. Now, while meteorologists predict it will not make a direct hit, BPL Chief Operating Officer Anthony Christie says the company is still taking precautionary measures.
We see Hurricane Erin approaching. We anticipate by Sunday we'll know exactly what is going to happen to it, whether it's going to turn or come more toward the south. And again, our teams are just bracing themselves and making sure that they're able to respond to any incident that impacts them, flooding or pole damage or otherwise. So yeah, we have our managers every day or every week would update me in regard to that. As a storm approaches, we tend to up the protocol in terms of the meetings and making sure the resources are available. New Providence will indeed support all of the islands as needed in order to make sure that when we do have an impact, we're able to bounce back or restore as quickly as possible.
And not to be caught off guard, Christie says BPL is partnering with other organizations like the Disaster Risk Management Authority and BTC to ensure the safety of residents.
We would make sure we have enough spares and equipment available. Of course, all the generation capacity or units should be online. We did extensive work in the Southern Bahamas the last month. We would have installed over 70 poles in Inagua, meaning we replaced old or rotten poles. We have done extensive pole replacements in Abaco and different islands as needed. Tree trimming is ongoing. We've made sure equipment is on the ground. A lot of new trucks and fleet are there to support reinforcement of the T&D network.
Well, 1,428 illegal firearms encased today at the Royal Bahamas Police Force Training College in Oaksfield. The act made possible due to the Mines Advisory Group, CARICOM Impacts, and the U.S. Embassy, and who donated a specialized gun encasement machine. This latest donation marks a significant step in removing firearms off our streets. Here's Vaughn Aubrey.
Weapons seized by police were placed in a reinforced pit and permanently encased in Oaksfield. The Minister of National Security, the Honourable Wayne Monroe, stating that the act is both literal and symbolic.
Well, it's about ending the life cycle of a firearm. A firearm comes into being by creation. It can be illicitly trafficked, it could be used in crime, or in some of these cases, it could be used in the ordinary course of law enforcement. Well, to terminate the life cycle, you not only destroy it, but you have to, as you see there, encase it in concrete so that it could never ever live again in any way.
Recently, police arrested a number of young men found with AK-47 rifles. Authorities say cases like that indicate a disturbing trend involving young individuals and high-powered assault weapons.
Prime Minister has also sent out a clarion call recently. We need cooperation from the Bahamian public. As he expresses it, if you know your son has a gun, if you know somebody may be coming to kill your son, that may bring death to your doorstep. And so you should be telling the police where you know of these firearms existing, because it's all well and good. Somebody may come for your son and you may find yourself crying for him in the road. But what is worse, and what has happened here already, is somebody comes for your son and you are in the car.
Underscoring their commitment to public safety, the Minister of National Security, the Commissioner of Police, and senior officials including Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey and Kimberly Furnish, U.S. Chargé d'Affaires, witnessed Wednesday's encasement. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Vaughn Aubrey.
Thanks a lot, Vaughn. Well, police are also tonight investigating a shooting that has claimed the life of a man in his early 20s. The incident unfolding just before 5 this afternoon along Lexington Avenue off Wolf Road in the Coconut Grove area. Police say the man, who is a resident, was standing in front of another residence when he was approached by the occupants of a Japanese vehicle who opened fire, forcing him to run for safety. He made it a short distance and eventually collapsed in bushes off the road, where he later succumbed to those injuries. Police have also confirmed that the deceased was being electronically monitored for a serious offense. The police and defense force officer named in the United States indictment accusing them of providing sensitive law enforcement information to drug traffickers, protecting them from investigation and arrest, and helping them with the logistics of moving massive shipments of cocaine from Colombia through the Bahamas and into the United States did indeed have their day in court. Felicity Darville is following the case and has this update.
ZNS News has reported on the agonizing wait for Chief Superintendent Elvis Nathaniel Curtis former Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker, and others as they sit in the Brooklyn Federal Prison known as the Metropolitan Detention Center. The prison is said to be rife with issues from unsanitary conditions and extensive lockdowns to overcrowding now that it's packed with ICE immigration detainees as well. But the latest reports reaching our newsroom on Wednesday morning indicate that Curtis and his co-accused did have the opportunity to appear before Judge Gregory H. Woods on Tuesday. It was a status conference for Elvis Nathaniel Curtis, Darren Alexander Roker, William Simeon, Ulrich Jean-Baptiste, and their Colombian co-accused, Luis Fernando Orozco Toro. Curtis was present in the New York Southern District Court along with his counsel Joshua Stevens. Roker was present with an attorney he retained himself, Martin L. Roth. Simeon was present with court-appointed counsel Valerie Gottlieb. Jean-Baptiste with court-appointed counsel Benjamin Silverman. Defendant Orozco Toro was not present due to a production oversight, but his court-appointed counsel David Tuger was present. Orozco Toro did appear before Judge Woods today. The court directed all parties to be prepared to propose a schedule for motions, hearing, and trial at the next status conference. That conference is scheduled to take place on October 24th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. Time is excluded from the speedy trial clock through that date for all defendants in the interest of justice. Court reporter Chris Sellen confirmed that all named defendants will continue being detained at MDC Brooklyn until their next status conference, which should bring some real movement to their case. This is a case we will continue to follow. Felicity Darville for the Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks a lot, Felicity. Reporters asked Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, about the U.S. court case involving those Bahamian law enforcement officers, now that their case will be heard later this year.
The only interaction between them and the government would be that as Bahamian citizens in custody in the U.S., they're entitled to consular support from the Bahamian consulate, just as Americans in custody here are entitled to consular support. It is not a matter that involves the Bahamas government, other than they are our citizens and we have to give them consular support to make sure their detention is fair, and that's it. But that's not something for the U.S. government to keep us apprised of.
False, made up, and have no basis. That's how the government is branding social media messages, indicating that cabinet ministers and senior officials are a part of a United States indictment. The government's false information alert verified that when there is an increase in political activity, their rapid response unit quickly checks what's true and sets the record straight. The government urges the public not to share this message and to retrieve news directly from official statements and reputable news outlets. And still to come, the Senate passes an important bill. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Hi, I know you weren't expecting to see me here. Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. It's true. Come on in.
Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Welcome to the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025, the gateway to abundant opportunity, the platform for more, access to a continent with more makers and creators, more technology and manufacturing capabilities, more innovators and collaborators, more information and knowledge, a continent of opportunities for business in more markets and resources that accelerate progress and create space for more infrastructure, connectivity and networking, more creativity, production, and more deals for the people. Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, brings you the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, hosted by the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees, 140 plus countries, $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities. Register now and enter the gateway to new opportunities.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations, excluding the airport and food truck.
You're looking at a shot of Utopia of the Seas, one of the largest cruise ships in the world that calls on Nassau. That shot courtesy of drone pilot Kyson Miller. No final word yet on when the Boundaries Commission will unveil any changes to the country's constituency boundaries. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis told reporters yesterday, though, that he's pleased with some of the boundary recommendations already being made.
The chairman is reviewing it, and we don't think we'll get to it until we have a better understanding of how the register would look. And so he's still working on it.
Senators debated and passed the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025 in the upper chamber Wednesday. The legislation will modernize the country's electoral process. Here's Fern Carey.
Attorney General Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder opened debate on the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025. The legislation supports the introduction of biometric voters' cards and the biometric parliamentary elections register. It brings the Bahamas in line with global trends towards a more secure and modern elections. Senator Pinder stressed that the legislation speaks to voter registration only and does not have any bearing on physical voting or the tabulation of election results.
We envision that this system will be fully complete and rolled out, and biometric cards and a digital registration system will be in place as of January of 2026. I think it's important to note, Mr. Chair, this is an important piece of information, that approximately 80% of the registered voters have an e-passport, which contains the biometric data of your photograph and fingerprints of the passport holders.
The Attorney General says since this biometric information already exists in e-passports, voters will just have to consent to a smooth transfer of their data to the biometric cards. The legislation also paves the way for more flexibility and efficiency in conducting general elections.
Proposed amendments to sections 32 and 35 of the Act will provide the Parliamentary Registration Department adequate time to prepare for the advanced poll and the general election once Parliament has been dissolved. Consequently, the Parliamentary Registration Department has been challenged, as I said, to facilitate the conduct of these elections in the mandated time frame. In fact, they will tell you that it's not the actual internal mechanics of the department that's the challenge. It's some of the physical characteristics, such as printing the ballot.
Senator Pinder also indicated that the Data Protection Act will be enacted before the anticipated rollout of the biometric framework and will especially address biometric data and data protection. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
In her contribution to the debate on the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill 2025, Opposition Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis agreed that the measures will align the Bahamas with global best practices. However, she expressed concern about introducing major technical changes before general election.
We see the PLP trying to fast-track a system
that will collect our most sensitive personal data without first showing in black and white how it will be protected, without having in black and white legislation that the will to adequately protect it.
In the upper chamber, after debating and passing the Parliamentary Elections Amendment Bill and the Segregated Accounts Company Bill 2025, the legislation modernizes the country's corporate regime while ensuring that the financial services sector maintains its competitive edge in the global market. Attorney General Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder led off debate on the bill.
Many of the suggested revisions in this bill come about due to restructuring opportunities because of domestic tax law changes in key markets of the financial services industry, such as Brazil. The thought is that with the introduction of these flexible restructuring and structuring opportunities, we can see an influx of SACs into our jurisdiction, re-domiciled from other competing jurisdictions and financial centers, and to take advantage of the new provisions that we are placing in law today.
In supporting the bill, Leader of Opposition Business Senator the Honorable Darren Henfield suggested that public-private entities that are funded by the government should be held to the same standard as international companies.
And we have a number of them that just come every year. As I sat in the cabinet, I saw it. Come every year and asking for additional finances and additional funding to do what they do. And some of them are too big to fail. But they are required to be audited. And we don't see any audits forthcoming from many of these institutions, who seem to act sometimes like the government is just a bottomless well that you can just come to and take public funding from.
This portion of the news brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
As we continue to develop the orange economy of the Bahamas and empower our artists and artisans, we as a government intend to show tangible support. We are therefore requesting our Bahamian artists and artisans to submit images of their handmade, authentically made Bahamian products and prices as we move to produce a live digital booklet with Bahamian-made works. With the creation of a live booklet, artisans can always submit new works to be included. It is our intent to use this book as a catalog for the purchase of items by all senior government officials for gifts, display items, and the like. Ministers, permanent secretaries, members of parliament, and ambassadors will be supporting our orange economy by the purchase of items and in sharing this book to the wider global creative community. We are committed to grow and expand the orange economy of the Bahamas.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
There's no doubt that the presence of working moms is considered most vital in their newborn's first year. But what about working dads? Is theirs equally as important? Instead of garnering feedback from fathers, in this week's Health Matters, Danielle Dean put a spin on things and got this reaction from mothers.
Maternity leave is at the forefront of the Ministry of Labor's deliberations right now, and whether 3 months is a long enough time off for mothers. But a very important component in the family structure is the father. What about him? Here's mother of one, Nadia Mackey's opinion.
3 months is fine, or even where the lady, if she goes back to work, he is there to be with the child for a certain amount of time as well. So that's what I think about it.
According to former Director of Labor, Robert Ferguson, as far as the law goes, there is no allowance for paternity leave at all. Only unpaid family leave. And in the Bahamas, more than 70% of children are born to single mothers. Some companies and corporations allow paternity leave even if the parents do not live together. Leah Harris, also a mother, supports paternity leave.
Certain jobs don't even give paternity, so I feel as though they should be there at least 3 months with them too. They don't have to stay the full 6 months, but the help and the support is needed in the beginning. So I feel as though it's fair. They need it too.
Kimberly admits the pressure new mothers take on can at times be too much to handle alone.
Definitely feel like fathers should get more time off because a lot of pressure is on the mom, and then you have some mothers who deal with postpartum depression. And like I mentioned before, a lot of persons don't have that help. So if the father is able to take that time off, it'll be a less burden on the mother.
Ato Comey, a U.S. resident, advocates for workplace equality, saying there are men like him who are married and want to be there for the initial stages of their children's lives and want to protect their wives, and could use paternity leave to do it.
I'm a man, but I have children, and I see what women go through after childbirth. So it's always, I don't know if you have democracy here, excuse my ignorance, but you, the voters, your thumb is what you use to bring about laws.
Comey offering a non-native perspective and endorsing the idea that yes, fathers too want and need time from work to bond with mother and child. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight with Health Matters, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, Milena joins us live for a sneak peek of Access Now. Milena, what's happening?
Well, Ladon, there are 2 things I'm pretty excited about. Number 1, we have a recap of the High Rock Sea Fest. You know I love to hear anything from my home island of Grand Bahama.
Yeah.
And we also have a new fresh face in here tonight because Basil Dean has brought along one of his cadets, Elise Jones. So she's going to be helping bring us the weather tonight. So we can't wait to see that too.
All right, so stay close. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report continues right after this.
Diet-friendly special.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Like, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large 1 topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, but.
Well, that does it for the National Report, but stay close for the Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
At the National
National Training Agency, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, gave a warm and informative welcome to the many students engaging in the Ministry of Tourism's Summer Employment Program.
Our job as leaders in tourism is to ensure that you are appropriately prepared for the future. We are seeking the brightest and the best. And there is a lot of opportunity for you to be a part of this vibrant, robust industry. But today, I like to carry a message of ownership, a message of entrepreneurship, a message that we should aspire to own the hotels, to own the tour companies, to own the transportation companies, and to own the airlines. And this is where I hope into the future, when we talk about owning tourism, that we are thinking beyond the desk job, beyond retail, beyond service in a hotel, but we're thinking about how we can become a key player in owning the economy of the island of the Bahamas. I leave you on those brief words, simply to say that you have an important role to play as the brightest and the best that we've got. And I encourage you to continue with your studies. Continue to do extremely well. Continue to be academically at the head of the class, if you will, because we do need the brightest and the best in tourism and investments in aviation.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Fox Hill Day 2025, celebrated by thousands of Bahamians, is now one for the history books. And British High Commissioner Thomas Hartley is now packed up and ready to go after a fruitful 3 years in the Bahamas. Details ahead. Plus, UNICEF hosts a child-centered disaster preparedness workshop, so stay close for that. And coming up in sports, Team Bahamas adds to its medal count at the Junior Pan Am Games.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Good evening, I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now. The Disaster Risk Management Authority says Tropical Storm Erin, which should be a hurricane by tomorrow evening, is not projected to come our way. This is indeed good news. However, let's continue to be safe and remember we are almost at the peak of hurricane season, so we have to stay vigilant, alert, and prepared. Let's dive right into news. Well, all roads led to Fox Hill yesterday as the annual Fox Hill Day celebrations took place. The day began with praise and worship and giving thanks. Now, after daytime activities wrapped, the festivities went into evening gear. Corvell Pryfrom took in the fun and has this recap for us.
Fox Hill Day celebrations were filled with all the familiar favorites. Fun, scrumptious food to feast on, great music, and a good time. Great-grandmother and proud Foxillian Evelyn Fitzgerald says wild horses couldn't keep her away from this year's festivities. We spoke to her about why this day is so special to her just moments after she took part in the pineapple eating contest.
You know, especially because you have public activities you could deal with and put the kids on and let them have fun. The kids like to watch the greasy pole, the police band, the maypole, and planting the maypole, and they just have fun.
Along with fun, there was lots of food, too. One must-stop at the festival was Fox Hill Day Unique Grillers, where they had everything grilled imaginable. Delano Davis is grill master.
We also have lobster, shrimp, pork, chicken ribs. What will cause your belly crave for more.
Fox Hill Day is that rare occasion where politics take a back seat. Politicians sing in one chorus, and this year, a united voice that even in the face of a recent spate of violent crimes, this tradition will remain intact.
Fox Hill people and persons who are familiar with this community, they absolutely love it. So even if there is a risk, they're going to be out.
What you have to do is you have to make sure that it's properly policed, and it is. People respect that, I think.
A tradition since 1870, the Fox Hill Day Festival, where the young could be merry and the not so young be young at heart.
Enjoying Fox Hill Day, I am a proud Foxillian.
For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now. I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Looks like a great time was had. Thanks, Corvell. Well, the British High Commissioner Thomas Hartley bid farewell to the Bahamas with an afternoon tea at Cafe Channing Noel, marking the end of his 3-year tenure. Our West Calix-Forbes was there.
His Excellency British High Commissioner Thomas Hartley has served in the Bahamas since August 2022. His focus has been on strengthening the ties between two countries through trade, education, security, and culture exchange.
Sadly, this end of this week is my end of my 3 years. It's gone so quickly. It's quite incredible. I still feel like I'm in my first year, and yet it's coming to an end. It's been such a wonderful time. We have been made to feel so welcome in the Bahamas, and we have 5 times as many scholarships now as we did when we started. We've donated 10,000 pages from our national archives to help with the history curriculum. We've hosted diplomats for a day. We've sponsored Learn to Sail programs. We've donated musical instruments to schools in Cat Island and Eleuthera, and we've supported British teachers and speeches at schools. We've done a huge amount in the education space.
Under High Commissioner Hartley's leadership, the United Kingdom hosted its first trade mission to the Bahamas in over 2 decades, encouraging investment in areas such as tourism, energy, and financial services, while fostering closer cooperation between the Royal Bahamas Defence Force and Royal Navy in areas such as maritime security and disaster preparedness.
The type of country the Bahamas wants to be, whether facing the US, facing Europe, open to trade, focused on Bahamians, where people are going to go to school, the type of jobs to be in the Bahamas. I think this conversation, is still to happen. I think a new national development plan would be the right place to have that conversation and to really think beyond the politics, beyond the election.
As Hartley prepares to leave the Bahamas in a matter of days, he boasts about his successor.
I'm very pleased that my replacement is a very wonderful diplomat, a lady called Smita Rossetti. Like me, she's a career public servant. She was previously in Morocco and before that in Jerusalem. She's a fluent Arabic speaker from all of that time, and she's going to come with a whole new set of energy and new enthusiasm for the Bahamas.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix-Forbes.
Thanks, Wes. The Organization for Responsible Governance, ORG, joining national and regional partners for the Core Commitments for Children in Humanitarian Action Workshop, hosted by the Disaster Risk Management Authority in collaboration with UNICEF. The cross-sector session brought together representatives from government agencies, civil society, and humanitarian organizations, including Rotary and the Bahamas Red Cross, to strengthen collaboration on protecting children before, during, and after emergencies. Discussions addressed the growing threats of climate change, from stronger hurricanes to prolonged droughts, and reflected on lessons learned from Hurricane Dorian, which in 2019 severely disrupted healthcare, education, and family stability across the country. Participants explored how UNICEF's framework can guide the integration of child-focused policies into disaster risk management, ensure continuity of essential services, and improve coordination among response agencies. Well, officials at the Flamingo Gardens Family Life Center are putting their money where their mouths are when it comes to the center's backyard farming initiative, facilitated by the Community Affairs Division of the Department of Social Services, Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. Almost 1 year after its launch in September 2024 as part of the Empowerment Hour program, the center has planted and harvested a range of vegetables, from lettuce to chili peppers, lemon cucumbers, Asian melons, and more recently, pumpkins, including a 28.2-pounder, to showcase how families can not only feed themselves, but also supplement their incomes through the sale of their produce, while ultimately helping to protect the environment. And still to come, it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for financial advice from Leno Financial Services. Our weatherman Basil Dean is also waiting in the wings to give us an update on Tropical Storm Erin. So stay close.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Find the summer-loving specials you need at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 13 ounces, $1.09. Vitamalt Classic, 16 ounces, 2 for $3. Pretty Lady Red or Green Seedless Grapes, $3.99 per pound. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Danish spare ribs, $2.39 per pound. Super savings all summer long at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Welcome to the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025, the gateway to abundant opportunity, the platform for more, access to a continent with more makers and creators, more technology and manufacturing capabilities, more innovators and collaborators, more information and knowledge, a continent of opportunities for business in more markets and resources that accelerate progress and create space for more infrastructure, connectivity and networking, more creativity, production, and more deals for the people. Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, brings you the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, hosted by the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees, 140 plus countries, $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities. Register now and enter the gateway to new opportunities.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in this parking lot, but you ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's no parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't got nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park him. Don't park him. Yeah, that's how they got. No, you can't park him on the gas. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. On the gas, watch it. Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bar big broke, and he got a sticker inside. This ain't this mod though. We gotta move. This is honey gas. Let's go. We gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
It is time now for your Access weather forecast, and Aaron has intensified over the last 6 hours. It's now packing winds of some 50 miles per hour as it continues to move towards the west at some 17 miles per hour. Now, we expect some further intensification to take place as it moves over some more warmer waters over the next 24 hours, and then Aaron could become a hurricane as early as tomorrow afternoon. And further intensification taking it to a major hurricane. That's a Category 3 as we head into the weekend on Sunday thereabout. It becomes a Category 3, but the good news for us is all the computer models, or the majority of them, are suggesting that this system will turn towards the north before it reaches the Bahamas, well to the east of us, and so no problem there at all. But we'll continue to monitor it just in the event things does not pan out as these models are saying. We'll make the necessary corrections for you. And then as we go to our live weather radar, we can see some showers and thunderstorms just to the west of Andros. We also have another little batch of showers to the west of the Exuma Keys, and also just to the north of Grand Bahama and North Africa. They're having a few showers there as well. Over Cuba, lots of thunderstorm activity taking place there because we do have a tropical wave that is moving towards the west. And our boating forecast tonight in the northwestern islands through Friday, the winds will remain light and variable with flat sea conditions. High tide takes place at 11:48 tonight, but the low tide at 6:03 tomorrow morning. Now for the central islands through Friday, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And in the southeast Bahamas, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, a little stronger there. So we're asking small craft to exercise caution in the southeast Bahamas right through Friday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
3 a.m.
going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full update. Marlena.
Thanks, Basil. So yesterday, Basil mentioned that he was going to be bringing in one of his cadets tonight, and we're all going to get to meet her right now. We've got Felice Jones with us. Felice, welcome to Access Now.
Thank you.
I know this is probably not the evening you were expecting to have. We kind of just threw mics on you. We're like, you know what? Let's let everybody get to know you because you seem like such a bright young woman. We just want to introduce everyone to you. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit, what is it like being a cadet with Mr. Dean?
I would say it's fun. It's definitely an interesting learning experience. You get to learn more about meteorology and the factors of the job, how it ties into forecasting, aviation, and air traffic.
And so what initially sparked that interest in meteorology for you?
I've always been interested in STEM and in nature. I've always liked nature, the environment, and STEM. And I think meteorology is just a nice mix of that.
And so what kind of things do you do as a cadet?
A lot of learning. Sometimes we get to go on little field trips, as Mr. Dean would call it. We went to Grand Bahama. We got to see the air traffic control there. I believe we're going to see the radar sites soon. We've seen air traffic here in Nassau, how it works, get a feel for it, and how they seek out the planes and train their workers.
Amazing. Now, I'm sure those are things that people just kind of, you know, we know it all works and don't really understand how it works. But when you're seeing all this happen, how old are you?
I'm 15.
You're 15, which is amazing. You're so intelligent. What school are you going to right now?
St. John's. I'm going to my senior year.
Amazing. So you're in your senior year. Do you know what you want to study next?
I think I may go into about atmospheric science or environmental science, something involving meteorology, maybe a side of French.
Oh, I love the side of French. So this being a cadet has really solidified and locked it in for you that this is what you want to be doing moving forward.
I have been so interested the past 4 weeks. I really loved it. I think it was a really good learning experience.
Amazing. Felice, well, thank you so much for being such a good sport and sitting down with me and introducing yourself to everyone. We can't wait to see what you're going to do next because I'm sure you're shining bright so much already that it's only going to get better from here. So thank you so much for being vulnerable.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, spring has passed and summer is here, and while many people focus on cleaning out closets and getting rid of old items, financial experts at Leno Corporate Services say your portfolio can use a little freshening up too. Diane Dorsett has part one of this two-part financial series.
Just like dusting off old furniture or clearing out storage, financial spring cleaning starts with evaluating what you already have and what's no longer working.
Spring is the season when the weather is fantastic. The flowers are in bloom, the birds are singing, and spring cleaning is on most of our to-do lists. This spring, you may not only declutter your home, but you may also consider assessing and reviewing your financial portfolio.
But before you start trimming your portfolio, you need to identify which investments are underperforming. One useful tool is a benchmark.
A benchmark is a reference point or a yardstick that helps you measure how well your investment is doing. For example, if you invest in the local stock market, then the BISX All Share Index is most likely the suitable benchmark to compare your investment against.
Coming up in part two, we'll show you how to rebalance your portfolio, explore new opportunities, and how often you should be reviewing your financial health. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorsett.
It's always good to hear from our friends at Leno, but it's time for us to check in with Total Sports to see what's on tap.
And Lamar Taylor continuing to heat up the pool over in Paraguay. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
It's hot outside, but inside the savings are super cool at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. JBI long grain rice, 5 pounds, $3.79. Jacquard vegetable or canola oil, 40 ounces, $4.49. Rainbow green or dry pigeon peas, 15 ounces, $1.39. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $4.99. Whole chickens, $1.89 per pound. Super savings all summer long at Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 911 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports over in the pool. Lamar Taylor continuing to build on perhaps one of the most dominant careers amongst male swimmers in Bahamian history. The 22-year-old adding to his collection of medals on Tuesday, winning the bronze in the men's 100-meter free at the 2025 Junior Pan American Games in Asunción, Paraguay. Taylor stopping the clock in a new national record time of 48.51 seconds at the Olympic Aquatic Center in Asunción. Taylor is the only Bahamian swimmer to crack 50 seconds and also boasts the top 14 fastest times in the event. As for the bronze medal, it is the second medal picked up for the 242 at this year's games and the third overall for the Bahamas in the event's history. From the NBA, Kai Jones currently in talks with the Miami Heat. This revealed earlier this week from NBA insider Chris Haynes. Jones is currently working out for the team while the Heat considers their roster options just ahead of training camp. Jones, the 19th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, played for the Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks during the 2024-2025 season. He appeared in 40 games, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds in just over 11 minutes per game. Starting the season on a two-way contract with the Clippers, Jones was waived in early March after roster moves. The Mavericks then signed him to help bolster their injury-depleted front court. Jones improved his output, averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds in 12 games across 6 starts. Let's look at your sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
In 1953, the United States began using a female name for storms. And by 1978, both male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established by the World's Meteorological Organization for Atlantic hurricanes. There is a list of male and female names which are used on a 6-year rotation. The only time that there is a change is if the storm is so deadly or costly that the future use of its name on a different storm would be inappropriate. These are the names of the storms for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dexter, Aaron, Fernand, Gabrielle, Umberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, Olga, Pablo, Rebecca, Sebastian, Tanya, Van, Wendy. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
Looking at a view of picturesque Montague Beach here in eastern New Providence. Our Kyson Miller took that shot. Good stuff there. But it's time to take a trip down to my island, Grand Bahama. Let's go. The Ministry of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation takes every opportunity to spotlight the Bahamas' rich, vibrant culture and provided transportation for the visitors to the island to savor the authentic cuisine, enjoy refreshing local drinks, and fully immerse themselves in the 19th annual High Rock Sea Fest held recently. The event attracted scores of families of local residents, family islanders, and those visiting from Canada, the United States, and Barbados. These visitors gathered at the High Rock School grounds to enjoy a fun-filled day of traditional games and competitions like the beer drinking and watermelon eating contests. The crowd took in the delicacies of all things seafood, from cracked and scorched conch to conch fritters, conch salad, fish and lobster, and was also entertained into the evening with music from Stevie S., Wilfred Solomon, and the Top Tier Band. I love my Grand Bahama just as much as I love social media. And it's time for us to check in with our Matea Cunningham and Let's Talk Socials.
Hi everyone, today we're diving into a trend that's been cracking people up online. AI baby comedy videos. These clips depict AI babies working real 9-to-5 jobs. And the reason? Well, apparently living is just that expensive. Check this out.
You're already late. Get to work immediately.
Doctor, call me an Uber. I'm late for work.
Aren't you a little young to be working?
Rajit, do your job and stop yapping.
So why are you working here at such a young age?
Ooh, have you seen the state of this economy? My piggy bank is empty.
Well, why are you eating on the job? You're fired.
Welcome to the world. You're the smallest one in your family. What would you like to say?
Send me back. I heard my parents are poor. Where's the doctor?
What happened? Where are you going?
I want to go back. I heard my parents are poor. Oh, my God.
From babies in business suits sitting through very important meetings to little ones working cash registers and answering phones. These videos have been everywhere, and while they're hilarious, they also have that slightly relatable edge. Because let's face it, sometimes adulting feels like you were hired at birth. Taking a look at the comments, one user joked, "This baby's got better health benefits than me." Another said, "Bro's working overtime and still needs a nap." And my personal favorite, "Raise the minimum wage for babies." Whether you think they're just good fun or a clever take on the cost of living, these AI baby videos prove that sometimes laughter really is the best coping mechanism. We'll meet back here tomorrow for more social media updates. Until then, my name is Matea. Toodles.
Matea, I don't know where you find these things, but I love it. But I want to go back. Anyway, that does it for Access Now for tonight. Make sure to join us tomorrow night when social media influencer Catherine Duncombe joins us live in studio. But for tonight, stay tuned for the last newscast in the land with Royston Jones at 11 p.m. Good night, everybody.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often